Welcome to you both, Ben. I'm struggling for words because of the stock market rally today. Right. We all know this seems to be an intractable, unsolvable problem, and yet investors are kind of shrugging it off right now, although, as we know, CDS numbers and things like that have jumped.
Right. Yeah, we've seen some action in the credit default swaps and in some of the action in treasuries in general. But you're right, the market is not, at least the equity market is not taking it at all seriously. This idea that we could once again get close to a debt limit crisis and default, I think they're underestimating those odds right now, given how far apart the two sides are. This proposal from House Speaker McCarthy is not going anywhere. The White House won't come anywhere close to what they're calling for in terms of cuts and programs across the board. So we're nowhere. This may force the White House eventually to come to the table and start talks, and then we get to a conference and see what Senate Democrats are willing to accept. All that sausage has to get made down the road and will, but it probably, and Jimmy may think differently, takes a market reaction to get that to happen, a forcing mechanism.
Where is the public on this, Ben?
Yeah, I don't think the public is focused on this particular issue. The public is very much aware of the size of the national debt and worried about it. So political arguments about not raising the debt limit because of our debt are effective. Obviously, the debt limit really simply allows us to pay for money already appropriated by Congress and not default on our goods, but on our debt. But it is easy to sell to voters, we can't do this because our debt's so big. It's just absolutely nonsense.
And Jimmy, maybe people would say, well, when are we going to do something about it then? Because no matter who's in Washington, it seems to just keep going higher. And then when interest rates start rising, it gets a little bit more scary to think about.
Yeah, listen, I think the ultimate end game, if you're worried about the long-term deficit, I think it will take a market reaction for both sides to come together and really do something about deficit. I don't think that is where we are today. I don't think it is likely that the Biden administration will say, you know what, if we have some sort of technical default, people will blame the Republicans and we get this short-term win. Great. I don't think that, given that the president's going to be running for re-election, as you were just saying earlier, a lot of risk here of a recession, people now expecting it. The last thing this administration needs is an additional economic shock to make a recession more likely heading into election. So, I think they will de facto negotiate. I think there's going to be a deal at the end of the day.
What, Jimmy, will that? So how does it, from the president's point of view, how does he come to the table and say, OK, I'm running for re-election. Everyone knows the debt ceiling is kind of a GOP thing. So if I let us raise it with, what is the message here? What is the compromise that he's offering, or the deal he's getting?
Well, listen, it can't be the McCarthy plan. I mean, it's not going to be a plan that causes massive spending cuts. It's not going to be a plan that's going to undermine the Inflation Reduction Act, which is part of Biden's legacy. I'm not saying it's on a narrow path. Maybe it's something like permitting reform, which would help which would help the Inflation Reduction Act, but also is deregulation. Republicans like it. Toss that in there. Some sort of technical budget things. It's not going to be a huge package, but it might just be enough. I just think ultimately it's not in anyone's interest for there to be a problem. It'd be certainly a short-term political blow for Republicans. And an economic shock is not what the Biden administration needs. It's not what the American public needs.
Yeah.
So I think, listen, it's not an insignificant odd that we have a problem here, but I just don't think it's still very likely.
I mean, Ben, I'm getting excited because now we're talking about permitting reform. If that's the deal we come to the table with, who wouldn't be happy? Everybody would be thrilled. This could be the best year ever.
Who does not get really excited about permitting reform and various nitty-gritty? I know, Jimmy, that you do, and we love you for it, and you're a policy wonk among policy wonks and a gentleman. But I would say this, and he's absolutely right. There will be a deal, I think, at the end of the day. It's going to take some market freak out. It's going to take a little give, maybe permitting reform, something else, some technical budget cuts by Biden, the White House, and Democrats. Nothing close to what McCarthy is doing, because they'll get destroyed on all of the stuff they're trying to cut. And they'll come to the table a couple of days before we have to get there. The problem is we're going to get there sooner than we think.
Right, although you watch the receipts now and all of a sudden we're catching up a little bit, so maybe it's late July or whatnot. So I guess final question to you, Ben, is what is the language Biden's going to use to signal that he's coming to a deal on this, so in a way that will be palatable to his base?
Yeah, he's going to say when they get closer to that time, look, I don't love some of these things. You probably won't love them either. It's in the interest of the U.S. economy to not flirt with default. I am going to meet halfway, my Republican colleagues, and not allow the nation to be held hostage. You can write the speech, the words, they'll be there.
Are we cutting spending as a result of this?
I don't think so. Not in any major way, not in any systemic, long-term way where you cut it discretionary spending for years, maybe slight cuts out of what we're currently spending in the current budget, but nothing structural, the kind of reforms that would eventually deal with long-term debt deficit. That's not happening.
Jimmy's shaking his head, too. All right, great. So we're going to raise it again. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. This is
At least we won't default. That's good.
Hopefully. James Pethokoukis, Ben White, thank you both today. We appreciate it.